Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie, and for today's video I'm going to be talking about TV shows. So I thought that it would be fun to do a little video talking about some TV shows that I've been recently watching that are in kind of the spooky realm. So I'm mainly going to be talking about just 3 TV shows. Each of these are somewhat on the lighthearted side. They definitely still have some serious topics thrown in there, some potential trigger warnings for things, but they are also comedies surrounding kind of spooky topics. Actually, now that I thought about it, all 3 of them deal with death. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first one that I'm going to be talking about is School Spirits. Now, I did do a more deep dive, in-depth review on my Patreon about the first season, and they just announced that it will be getting a 2nd season. Now, I believe that this show is based off of a book, which I have not read. If you've been here a while, you know, not a big reader, but tells this character of Maddie, who is a high schooler that dies, and she dies on the premise of her school, and she is immediately greeted by fellow ghostly students. But the difference between Maddie and these other characters is she doesn't know how she died. Everyone else knows the circumstances to their death except for Maddie, and that is what our story follows, is her trying to find out how she died and potentially which one of her loved ones might have had something to do with it. I immediately loved this series. I've watched it a couple of times now. I just think that it is so good. Like I said, it is a very serious topic. Each character goes through something very serious, not just Maddie, the other students as well. They all have some pretty dark backstories. I'm not gonna lie, there's definitely warnings for some child abuse throughout this, but they still manage to topple some comedy on it. Now, one of the actors in this show is Milo Mayhem, who some of you will recognize from Eli Roth's Thanksgiving that just came out this last year. He played the main girl, and there's jockey boyfriend that everyone was a little bit concerned about. Plays a very lovable jock character in this show, and I highly suggest checking this one out, especially since there is going to be a 2nd season coming hopefully soon. It originally came out on Paramount Plus, but you can watch it on Netflix now as well. So if you have either of those, definitely suggest checking it out. Now, the next 2 shows are both available to watch through Hulu. The first one is a Hulu original series, and it is called Death and Other Details. It is still currently, as I record this, going, or still episodes currently playing of the 1st season. This one takes place on a cruise, and it follows this character of Emma-Jean, whose mother dies when she is very young, and she's taken in by her best friend's family, who are very rich, wealthy, business family, and they are in the process of making a new business adventure when someone on the boat dies, and Emma-Jean is brought face to face with the man that was investigating her mother's mysterious death, which steers up things from her past. This show is very interesting. It took me a little bit to get into it. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of starts out a little slow. I don't think that it's had the best critical reviews from what I've kind of seen, but as the series goes on, it gets definitely more intense. And so far, I am really enjoying this one. I will say, I think the show's biggest problem is the mood switches. The moments between Emma-Jean and Rufus, the man investigating, the investigator, have a very different tone than moments with other characters. It just kind of feels like they're not always sure where to go with the tone of the show, but it is something that I feel like you can look past and enjoy it. Now, the actor that plays Rufus is Andy Pattigan, notably of course of Criminal Minds and Princess Bride fame. It also has Rahul Kali, who for the spooky people, has been a major player in a lot of Mike Flanagan stuff. I first saw him on iZombie, fell in love with his character in that, but he plays the hot sheriff in Midnight Mass. He was also more recently one of the siblings in The Fall of the House of Usher. So you'll recognize him. He plays the ship owner, and he does a fantastic job in this, as always. And like I said, that one is currently available to watch on Hulu. Now for our third show, I'm going to be talking about Not Dead Yet. So for anybody who watched and loved Dead Like Me, I highly suggest this one. It has kind of a very similar vibe to that. So it stars Gina Rodriguez, who TV show fans will know from Jane the Virgin. She is an obituary writer who sees dead people. And this one is definitely, I think, of these ones, the most lighthearted one in the group. There's obviously some serious topics, especially surrounding these people's deaths, but so far, for the most part, it's pretty lighthearted. We are currently on the second season. They just started releasing episodes from the second season. It is through ABC, but like I said, you can watch it on Hulu. That is where I have been watching it. It just really generally has a great cast of people. For my New Girl fans, also has Hannah Simone, who we will know as Cece. She plays Nellie, our main character's best friend. She is, again, phenomenal as always in this. And again, for TV show fans, it has Lauren Ash. Some of you will know from Superstore. She is phenomenally hilarious in this as well, and just really highly suggest checking it out. It also has a character named Edward who is on the autism spectrum. I hope that is still the phrasing that we use. If I'm incorrect, someone correct me, but from what I've seen of people saying, he does do a great representation. So I think that that's really cool, and I love his character. He's hilarious just as a character in general. So highly suggest going through marathoning the first season, and you can enjoy the new episodes that are coming out. Now, I did say only 3 shows, but I can't believe that I almost forgot this one that I most definitely wanted to include, and that is Living for the Dead. If you follow me on any of my other social medias, Threads, TikTok, anything like that, Letterboxd, I've talked about this show, but I haven't talked about it here on YouTube, and it is pretty much Queer Eye meets Ghost Adventures. It is actually produced by the same people that do Queer Eye. It also is produced and narrated by Kristen Stewart, and it follows a group of queer ghost investigators. One thing that I also think is really cool about this, aside from it being an all-queer cast, with multiple people of color involved as well, is that almost all of them have some sort of spiritual ability, ties to spiritual ability. We have 2 psychics, a self-proclaimed witch. We have 1 cast member who's our main investigator slash tech person, and she's real adorable. And we have our main host, and it's such a fun, heartwarming show. If you love Queer Eye, if you love Ghost Adventures, or any really ghost hunting show, you gotta check this one out. And another thing that I love within this show that I feel like they do that's a lot better than other ghost hunting shows, is just the respect for the places that they're going into, the respect for the ghosts or spirits, the people that are being affected. There's no, attempts to outright taunt the spirits, no trying to piss them off. In fact, there are several scenes throughout the first season where if a ghost is hey, I want you to go, they're okay, peace, bye. They're very respectful with what they do, and I think the fact that majority of them all have some sort of ties to the spirit realm helps with that, and I just love the way that's done, and it's really fun, and I'm really, really hopeful that we get a second season, because it's just really cute and really good show, and I just love and adored the first season. So please, definitely, if you're gonna check out honestly any of the shows on this list, definitely check that one out, just because I really want a second season, and I haven't heard enough people talking about this one, and It needs to be seen. Again, I watched this one through Hulu. This is not by any means sponsored by Hulu. That's just where I honestly watch a lot of my content, at least as far as like TV shows, is generally like through Hulu. So I hope that you guys did enjoy this quick little list. If you have any shows that you think that I should be checking out, especially based off of this list, leave those in the comments below. If you have seen any of these, let me know what your thoughts were on them as well. And if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a big old thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more spooky and horror related content. Quick little shout out, my shirt which says death before spoilers. It is a spooky astronaut shirt. Again, not sponsored. But definitely head over to her shop to check that out. She also has sweaters and cups. If you've seen my more spooky stuff sweater that I wear a lot in videos, that is also one of hers. And a quick shout out to my patrons as well. Thank you so much for helping to contribute to the channel. If you want to know the perks to being a patron, there's a link in the description below along with all of my social medias, and I will see you all again later with another video. Bye.